Fell for habit number two. Forgive the background noise. Forgive the background noise. I don't have my lights on, and even if I did, it's daytime, and there's a bunch of fuck knuckles here that ain't going home anytime soon. So, this video came across Top Buzz, and I want to touch on it because this isn't the first time this happened. However, the laws are tightening or laxing on this subject. So this dude here is Rudolph Smith. He is sentenced to 30 years for knowingly transmitting HIV to 3 women. Take a good look. Mr. Smith just ruined it for a lot of black men in America. In the world, actually. When I make these videos, I make them with the intent on right and wrong. No gray line. And when AIDS first happened, when HIV/AIDS first happened, you know, it was in the LGBT community and the bisexual community. It wasn't really in the heterosexual community until heterosexuals started doing drugs with HIV-infected people, and when bisexuals who got HIV doing their jumping back and forth spread it into the heterosexual community. Alright? So even if you were heterosexual, there was no surefire way of not getting HIV. Then the doctors came out with the possibilities, and those possibilities, it was 3, and then it was 4, and then it was 5, and then it went back down to 3, and I only remember 3. So the first one was unprotected sex, because many people were having unprotected sex at the time. Whether it was gay or straight, it was just unprotected sex. The second one was through drugs, and the third one was through blood transfusions because of a young kid who never had sex. He was just had a blood transfusion. I think his name was Ryan White. You can Google him. And then all of a sudden, revenge plots started popping up. People who got AIDS and didn't know they had AIDS, and they got it from somebody who had sex with somebody who had AIDS, and then it just was a big boom in the late 80s, early 90s, and with the death of Freddie Mercury, that's kind of how he was outed, because, you know, he wasn't really big into drugs and shit, but he was not a straight man. No disrespect to Freddie Mercury, because he was a great fucking singer, you know, and I still like Freddie Mercury, even after finding out that he was not, like me, you know, to each their own. So let's read this thing, and then let's, touch on it. Wow, he's got a cool-ass name, which is probably why it was so easy to trick people into going to bed with him. His name is Rudolph Jericho Smith, 37 years old. Frederick Man was sentenced to 30 years, but with all but 9 suspended. Now, man, with all but 9 suspended for assault and knowingly transmitting HIV to 3 women. The sentence came down in Fredericksburg on Friday in the Frederick County Circuit Court by Judge Julia A. Martez Fisher. I probably didn't say that right, so you know me, I'm going to spell it out for you. MARTZ-FISHER. I wouldn't have suspended, his ass would have never came out. I'm sorry, because that would still make him a danger to society. I have sisters, no. After the sentencing, Smith, my computer just jumped over to Chrome. Why the hell do you do that? Get down. There you go. Sorry about that, people. If you're still able to see me. Computer glitch. After the sentencing, Smith will be on 5 years probation. Smith entered an Alford plea of 3 counts of second-degree assault and 3 counts of knowingly attempting to transfer HIV to people. That shit's a murder sentence, you know, because he basically murdered these women by giving them a disease that there's no cure for. It's just like herpes. You know, there's no cure for that shit. Okay. What was that? The Alford plea to guilty to where the defendant doesn't formally admit guilt but acknowledges that the state has enough evidence to convict him. Frederick police began the investigation into Smith in the summer of 2017 when the women reported that they believe Smith infected them with HIV. During an investigation, the police learned that Smith knew he was HIV positive, but continued to have unprotected sex with women. Alright, I'm going to play devil's advocate real quick. First off, I don't give a damn who you are. You don't have unprotected sex. If you're just getting a rump in the sack, you still need to wear a fucking condom. Period. No exceptions. And if you're a woman, you put that shit on him yourself. Just so did you know that it's there. And please don't take this disrespectfully, women. Put it on him, throw him on his back, and then you ride him. You have control of his private part going into your private part by you being in cowgirl. And as long as you're looking at it while you're doing your business, you'll have control and he won't be able to slide the damn thing off. And if you're putting it on him right, he ain't going to be thinking about sliding that thing off. I am sorry. That was overly adult. But I am playing devil's advocate because, if I was a woman, you're not getting none without no condom on. I'm sorry. I don't give a damn how good it feels with or without the goddamn condom. I don't want no babies by you. And more importantly, I don't want no fucking transmitted diseases. Condoms going on. No glove, no love. As a man, I still feel that way. No glove, no love. I'm not really trying to have babies with just any random freaking chick. No, that's not an option. Anyway, moving on. No. And not only are you protecting yourself, by the way, you're protecting your partner. Or a person that you don't want to have babies with. No. Let's keep that shit real. Alright. Unprotected sex. With the women, while HIV is not what it was 15 years ago, the effect of the transmitting that now exists, 3 victims will be impacted by this defendant actions for the rest of their lives, said the state's attorney Charlie Smith. Okay. Now, again, his state attorney last name is his, Smith. Most popular name in America. Mr. Rudolph Jericho Smith. Mr. Rudolph Jericho Smith. First off, shame on you. Shame on you. Now, it's no knowledge of the ethnicities of the 3 women that he has permanently infected with HIV. Alright? And that's kind of a messed up thing because, one, you don't do that. You were an unfortunate victim, Mr. Smith, and that's probably something that happened to you. And there has been many of people who have done what you've done out of revenge because you don't know how you got it. And you could have prevented that shit the whole time by not having drugs, not having unprotected sex. You don't know if you had a blood transfusion, but if you did, then that wouldn't really be your fault either. That would be a hospital negligence, which is why now they screen the blood that they get. And anybody who has HIV isn't supposed to donate blood in the first place, and they know that. It's like a 50 states law now, I think, and I could be wrong. It might not be a law, but for the most part, if you have HIV, you're not supposed to donate blood at all. Which is again because of Ron White, which is why they screened the blood, because he got HIV-infected blood, and he went through school with 2 or 3 years having AIDS, and everybody was calling him all kinds of the victim blamed him and called him all kinds of different derogatives towards gay people, even though the boy wasn't gay. He was just a fucking 12-year-old boy, who caught HIV through the hospital because he had a freaking blood transfusion. That being said, there has to be a limit to this shit. And I don't give a damn who you are. If you're going around purposely infecting your own race or human beings with HIV because you were infected because you weren't careful, you're a murderer. And I don't give a damn if I offend people, and I don't care if I lose all my followers behind this shit. You are a fucking murderer. And you getting 30 years. And it says here in big bold letters, 30 years with all but 9 years suspended. So he's only going to do 9 years out of 30. 9 years. which means, okay, it's 2020 next year. So if he gets sentenced next year, he'll be out in 2029 if he lives long enough to do this shit to someone else. I think that if you purposely giving people HIV, you have no place in society and you need to be locked up in a specific prison with everyone else who has HIV to keep you away from giving it to everybody else. I'm not trying to be an asshole about this, but I'm compartmentalizing right now. If you're like the worst of the worst criminals, you need to be over here in maximum security. If you're an HIV criminal and you're going around spreading it, that either intentionally or unintentionally, you need to be in a cell with nothing but HIV people. That way, y'all will live over there, and it keeps the contamination factor down. You know, you probably have special guards and nothing sharp, so you can't cut yourself and fling your blood on people, because people do that dumb shit too. And you know, rapists need to be in this prison with other rapists, murderers in this prison, rapists in this prison, robbery in small time jails, HIV people over here. You know, break that shit down by criminal instead of just throwing them all in the same damn prisons. Just put them all in different spots. You know, and the reason why I say that is because we don't compartmentalize anything. We just throw your ass in jail, prison, whatever. But this shit here, he knew he had it. He's ruined 3 women's lives. His life was ruined, but he went and purposely ruined 3 other people's lives because that's, you know, I don't give a damn if things are getting hot and heavy. I got condoms in my pocket. I have condoms in my car for a fucking reason. They're not there to look pretty. They're not balloons, and they're not chewing gum from the people from the Coneheads movie. You know, they're there for my protection as well as the person that I'm with. Now, I personally know I don't have AIDS because whenever the army draws my blood, you know, they make sure they give me a full-on scale. You know, you're good. You know, and you can go to any health department and get an HIV test. They will draw your blood and they will take your shit. You know, and that's the thing. You know, with most of the things, you know, if you're scared that you have it, you should probably go get tested for it. It's not no shame, you know, just go get tested for that shit. But if you don't know you have it and you're spreading it, then, you know, you're not really a murderer, but you're still guilty for spreading that shit. But you're also guilty for not going to get tested. And here's the thing on that. I will do a whole HIV testing video because it needs to be done. And people need to know, you know, this disease is not curable. You know, it's once you have it, that's it. You know, it's just like herpes. You're a fucked kitten without a cat. Somebody just threw your ass in the water without a boat or a paddle or a raft. You're just fucking gone. But there's treatment. So there's hope there. There's treatment. I don't know if there's treatment for herpes, but there is definitely treatment for HIV. For herpes and HIV, they're 2 life sentences. And you don't want either one of them. I'm James Williams Jr. If I've offended you, I'm sorry. Thanks for watching. Be seeing you.